Hey there, Amir here with another React challenge. This one is a tab menu, as you can see here. The question is like, we are having this tab menu here. We would like it to work properly, just like the tab menus, and using context. So you can see it's working perfectly now. We don't care about the styles for this challenge, only the functionality. So if you feel like it, please pause the video and try to resolve this problem on your own. Otherwise, grab your notepad and get ready to code along. Okay, in the beginning we have been provided this JSX, which is a tab with a bunch of tab menu with menu items and tab content with tab items here. Now these are for simplicity just the text, but they can be like nested JSX as well. It doesn't matter for us, and we need to write these components. This one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. Now if I click here, it would be an error because none of these components is defined yet. So first let's go and define them simply to return something so our app doesn't break. So tab will have a bunch of children, and let's say it returns something like this. Then we will have something similar for the rest of them. So this one is tab menu. Let's say this is having a class of tab menu that we have already defined here. Then what else? We have the menu item. It can get the children as well, and this will have the class of menu item like we have here. Then two more. We have tab item and tab content. So this is tab item and this is tab content, like so. Let me put this one here so they are in order. Now if I go back, at least I can see the tab menus, but of course they are not working and all the content is being shown here. Tab content should also have the content or tab content class as well. So yeah, now for the functionality. I will close this to have more room here. So it's evident that all of these components will need to be able to interact with a state. The state being the active index, which means which of these tabs is active. So first let's define a context that all of these will use. Well, not all of this, but at least this tab menu, menu item, and tab content are going to use it. So let's first define that. So here I would go and say tab context is a create context. So we create a context here. Now one of these should provide the context and others should be able to use it or consume it, so to say. The best place to provide it is in the tab. So we can say instead of just returning a simple JSX, we can return a provider as a wrapper with some value. For now, let's keep it at empty object, and then here we just close that like so. Now what should this provider provide? Well, it should be the index and the function to change the index. So let's go here and define a state. Let's say active tab and set active tab to use a state like so, and at the beginning it's tab at index 0, that is active. Now we need to pass along these two values to here, and this is tab context like so. So we're done with this. It just creates the state and then provides it to the rest of the components that we have here. So now these menu items that we have here will have, each of them will have an index, and they should be able to interact with this function. So when I click this one, tab item will know that its index is 2 or its index is 1, and when it's clicked it should set this index to 1. In order to do that, when we are rendering the tab menu, we need to provide the index to this menu item. So here, instead of just returning the children, I need to provide the index as well. So the thing that I would do is I would just go here and say on the children that are being passed to this component, which are these ones, these 3 ones, convert them to array. So we get the children, then map them, each child, and basically the index, the thing that we want. And here we just clone the element that is being passed along so that it will be a new component with the index that we want to send it. So we would say react.clone element, pass along the child and the index. Okay, and I don't need to do this here. So, and this is map. Okay, now to see that this will receive the index, let's grab the children and index, and here let's render the index as well. So yeah, this is getting 0, 1, and then 2. Okay, so we are getting the index here, which is great. Now this doesn't need to do anything else, so we can close this one as well to have more room here. Now we have the menu item, which is the most important one. This needs to interact with the context that we provided. So let's go and consume it. So let's grab the active tab, and we need the functionality as well. So this will be using the context. Which context? The tab context. Like so. Now we have access to these two. We want to know if it's the active one, and then let's make it like both. So I would go here and say is active. It will take a look at the active tab and the index. If they are the same, then it is an active one. Now here we would just say if it's the active tab, then render the class active, otherwise don't render anything. This is active, and now this is working. So this is the active one. Let's write the onClick one as well here. So when we want to click on this, we need to do a handle click function. So how does this work? The only thing that we need to do on this handle click function is to set the active tab to be the index that we have here, like so. So now if we go here, we click, and we set the active tab. Great. Now here on the tab content, the only thing that we need to do is get the index. By index I mean the active tab, and then based on that only render the child that is having the index which is equal to this index, active index that we have. So here again, let me grab it from here. Okay, I don't need to set anything, I'm just getting the active tab, and we will have this, and basically the thing that we do is something like what we have here. So let me copy this, but it will be a change. So I'm getting all the children, I will convert them to array, and before mapping them I would use the filter function. So filter, the only thing I care about is the index. So let's grab the index, and the ones that their index is equal to the active tab, only filter that one, and then do a map on the child and the index, and the same thing. Great, now I believe this is going to work. Yes. So now when we click, the content changes. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you have any comments or suggestions, or if you solved it in another way, please provide it in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next challenge.